Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Nerds with Friends. My name is Cody Leach, and as always, I'm joined by Christian Garcia.
Yo, this I'm looking at camera because we normally don't have this on. I'm like, fuck, my beard.
Yeah, I know.
I'm always wearing a mask. I'm like, holy shit, this is getting kind of...
Beards are getting out of control. But the reason why Christian is looking down and at himself, because we have a Skype guest, Joe from Mythic Markets, joins us again. Welcome back, man.
Thank you so much for having me. It's great to see you guys again.
Yeah, I'm excited because every time you're on, you're talking about something cool and nerdy. So we love having you on. And how's it been? How have you been? You know, we heard you moved to a new city. What's life been like?
Yeah, relocated from San Francisco to Las Vegas, where a lot of things are open, and it's kind of liberating, to be honest.
Yeah.
Are casinos open?
They are, in fact.
Man, if casinos aren't open, Vegas is not open.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what it is. That's cool though. Yeah, I know. The mayor of Vegas has been pushing constantly to reopen. I mean, it makes sense. Their whole economy, really depends on tourism and the money that these casinos and stuff bring.
You know
in.
what they should do is they should have like delivery guys go and make bets for them. Kind of like
Yeah.
you just send the delivery guy.
Ooh, that's like Uber's next thing.
Exactly.
You can like
You heard it here first.
Yeah, man.
I threw it out there.
We got nonstop great ideas. Uber betting, where you pay a guy to go and you have to tip him.
Yeah.
Because and there's a service fee
For sure.
But and then he makes the bets for you.
That's when you can make really shitty bets.
Uber bookie.
Yeah. You make a bad bet you can't pay, they're gonna break his legs. Bada bing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And then he hobbles over to you and be like, "Oh, I'm giving you a 1-star review."
Yeah, that's all right. I'll take it.
Well, awesome, man. Well, we're glad that you have a nice change of scenery. We are still living in San Francisco, where every day is a struggle.
Yeah.
I mean, it's it's definitely when everything's closed down, you kind of lose some of that. Oh, the city's so fun. There's so much to do, and there's always something going on. It's just like, nope. I'm just sitting in my overpriced apartment, paying for overpriced internet, paying for overpriced TV. Yeah,
Pretty much. But you get organic food.
Organic food, yeah, overpriced organic food. Let's not forget that. Let's start it off. You may remember, Joe, the times we've had you on. We like to start off with some nerdy confessions, where we confess the things that make us nerds. Christian, why don't you go first?
My nerdy confession is I'm caught up and I finished 60 Days In, the prison show I was telling you about.
Yeah.
I got no more shitty reality TV show to watch. I was just so into it. Now I'm like thinking, all right, I guess 90 Day Fiancé?
90 Day Fiancé.
Gotta try something else, or I guess maybe actually find a good show to watch instead of the trash reality TV. Have you seen it yet?
No, I refuse to watch that because
Just because I like it? Is that...
No, I hate reality TV.
I was not a fan, and then I got sucked into it.
Yeah,
because I like bad movies.
I'm afraid that I'll get sucked into it. That's part of the problem. I don't need, I will say during this pandemic, I have watched things that I normally wouldn't watch, which is what my nerdy confession is. I binge watched in one sitting. So it was like, I don't know, 6 hours, 7 hours, something like that. I watched a show called Fate, the Winx Saga. I think it's called the Winx Saga. Yep, that sounds right. And it's a show about fairies. And it's kind of like if you've ever seen The Magicians. Have you seen that one?
This isn't the one with Orlando Bloom.
Definitely not. It's not that one. That's I don't know. It's with the supermodel girl. I forget what that one's called. I have watched that one also. That one was actually okay. This one is about fairies who go to school together, kind of like, Harry Potter, and they learn their fairy powers. And like each one of them is like based off of an element or whatever. There's water fairies, fire fairies, earth fairies, that kind of shit. Mm-hmm. And then there's these other guys who are like their warrior guys who they're all the hot young dudes who are like, training to be like super cool swardsman guys.
These are the Legolas ones. These are...
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
But I found out halfway through the series, they are not fairies. They're just like dudes. Like I didn't get that until halfway through.
I thought you were going to make a weird straight joke or something.
No, nope. Nope. Yeah, they're not. Yeah, they're just regular humans as far as I can tell. But
So they didn't have wings.
they didn't have none of them have wings because apparently that power has been lost for centuries, Christian.
So these are cosplayers. These are deeply
Yeah.
like cosplayers who just bought into the lore.
Well, no, they have magical powers, so they do have magic powers. Like this is a
It's not like LARPing where they're like throwing
no.
foam.
No. This is very real. But anyway, so I'm on the fence whether I like the show or I hate the show. I like it because it's a cool fantasy type show, and I love any sort of book, movie, TV show where people like learn how to use magic or whatever, or learn how to do something cool.
Mm-hmm.
Harry Potter, The Magicians is another great one that I like.
It had nothing to do with the hot elf guys.
No.
Okay.
There's hot elf ladies too. Like I mentioned the dudes because
I said
thought
elf,
that
fairies. They were
they're
fairies.
fairies
Sorry.
also. Get it right. But the thing that really got me on it is like, there's cool magical powers and stuff going on. There's like these grotesque creatures and stuff who are like hunting after the fairies and stuff. So there's all this cool fantasy storyline going on, but then it drops into like teen drama, like really hardcore several times. And that's when I'm like, oh, I don't know if I should be watching this. There's like one girl who she's like the main one. She grew up with human parents. She didn't know that she was a fairy until like she burned her house down. And then of course she's like the best one at everything. And, she keeps making terrible, like stupid teen girl decisions that endanger everybody. And then at the end, she's got like no repercussions, but anyway, so
they're not mutants.
they're not mutants.
Sounds like mutants.
No, it's fairies. They live in a fae realm. And there's multiple realms. There's like a queen of light and, standard fairy shit,
Okay.
And, one thing too is that after watching this whole thing, I was battling a bout of insomnia. So I stayed up for like 32 hours, 34 hours. So I watched the whole series while I was sitting there not sleeping. And when I got done, I'm like, I wonder if this is based off of a book or something, right? It has to be based off of something. And I looked it up, and it's a Nickelodeon cartoon called The Winx Club, which is like a cartoon for like not even teen girls, just like little girls.
Good job, Cody.
Yeah.
Good
So
job.
anyway, I watched
You're
it.
on like a list now of like
Yeah.
possible
Like,
pedophiles.
why is this one guy watching this teen girl show? But yeah, I don't know if I should recommend it or not. Check it out. Watch the first episode and see if it's for you.
I'll watch like
Because
probably.
now I have to wait till season 2 comes out because it left on a cliffhanger.
Now you're
Now I'm
stuck.
invested.
Yeah.
I can't stop. Joe, how about you? What's your nerdy confession?
I think I have a couple since it's been a while.
Sure.
Let's see. I don't know if people can see the video feed, but
Yep, they should be able to.
okay,
As
cool.
long as I
Well,
do my editing right later.
I did show up in cosplay today.
Yeah, that's true.
Um,
That's true.
So that's one thing. I just got Disney Plus, and so I binge
Nice.
watched 2 seasons of Mandalorian, which was fantastic.
Oh, so good.
And then after trying to like figure out like what to watch after that, ended up going back to when I was like a 12-year-old kid or whenever it was, and now binge watching X-Men, the Fox Morning animated series.
Oh, the animated series. Some of the best cartoons out there.
Yeah.
When it came to Saturday morning cartoons.
It was hard not to imagine that Wolverine's voice when anyone else did Wolverine.
Right.
Because it was just so
Right.
embedded.
Or that theme song for that matter.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. So those are sort of the things that I've been getting into, but I'm almost done, so I'm gonna need some recommendations pretty soon. I don't know if I'm necessarily gonna pick up what is it, the 90
60 days
day
in.
90 Day Fiance or 60 days
Fiancé.
in.
60 days in.
Yeah, 60 days
But,
in is about people going to jail.
Voluntarily.
Yeah.
Non-prisoners. Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. See, he's hooked.
It sounds
That's all
I'm
we
not
needed to
hooked,
hear.
but
it sounds
so maybe another nerdy confession is that I befriended the owner of a local bar called the Nerd Bar,
Oh,
which
nice.
you guys would really enjoy. And And for Valentine's Day, his big promo is going to be, so he's got No Neck Ed, who's the star of 90 Day Fiance, coming in.
Oh
and
yeah, yeah. The
gonna
guy
be
who the guy who put mayonnaise in his hair.
Did he put mayonnaise?
Yep,
in his?
I saw.
I saw that.
The only thing I know from that show is from the Your Mom's House podcast.
It's crazy how famous he became.
Yeah, a lot of them did.
For like kind of being a garbage person.
Yeah, totally.
But yeah, so he'll be there handing out roses to the first 90 ladies that come through that night.
So clever. God, what a great
it's
marketing
very
idea.
on brand.
Yeah, I can't fault him for that. That's an excellent idea. That's cool though. And so the nerd bar, is it like they have like video games and stuff? We have one of those up here.
Yeah, so they got video games, sort of that bar arcade kind of thing, but there's also a bowling alley,
Man.
like a screening room. They've got memorabilia and comics and all this other kind of stuff all over, like screen use stuff.
Nice.
And the owner is a huge fan himself, and perhaps the the thing that surprised me when I walked in was that they have a mechanical bull in there as well, except that the mechanical bull is not a bull.
Oh, okay.
It's a giant penis.
Nice.
What can I say? And it's incredibly popular.
Oh.
Does it have balls or just the penis?
It does indeed.
Nice.
It's got the shaft, the balls.
Circumcised,
It's got everything.
uncircumcised.
Oh.
It is cut. Yeah.
Nice.
Well, as far as I can tell, I mean,
I mean,
it isn't.
It's
Flaccid.
erect.
That's a fair
it's
point.
Full on.
Yeah.
Yeah. No one wants to ride a floppy old penis.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Terrible. Well, that sounds like a crazy place. If we do come visit you, we'll have to go there and check it out.
It is
Videos,
Vegas, baby.
Yeah.
Vegas.
videos of us on the mechanical.
Oh, of course there will be. I won't have to like Photoshop them into your hands anymore. You'll
No,
just be
it's just
riding a
there.
big old dick. Yeah.
We now have cover art for this episode.
Yeah, exactly. That's gonna be the thumbnail, and then YouTube's gonna kick us off.
It's fine.
Well, awesome. Well, that's quite the nerdy confession. Yeah, there's plenty more stuff to watch for sure. Disney Plus, The Mandalorian's great. WandaVision is one thing that we've been.
Can't talk about the newest episode. I haven't seen it yet. So
Yeah,
I haven't either.
Yeah, me neither. Which it just came out today anyway. So,
Yes.
Right? Or no, it's coming out tonight at midnight.
No, today. You can watch it today.
Isn't today Thursday?
Yes,
I thought it comes out Friday.
Thursday.
Okay.
Oh no,
As
you're right.
as
I'm
you're
thinking.
hearing this-
I'm thinking about The Stand.
Yeah.
You're right.
The Stand
As
came
the
out.
audience is hearing this, it will have been released.
It
Yeah.
will be out. So yeah, we
Forgive me.
definitely shouldn't talk about it because it's in the future.
I was talking about The Stand.
Yeah, you
which
don't
is
want to mess.
also
You don't want
amazing.
to mess around with timelines. That's
Yeah.
dangerous stuff.
Make sure you watch The Stand if you haven't seen it. Really.
Yeah,
good.
The Stand is very good, but you have to get stupid CBS All Access. Or no, it's not CBS All Access anymore.
It's not.
It's Paramount Plus. Big old merger happened.
But I can
What?
still watch it on.
Yeah,
CB. Okay, because I subscribed to it just for The Stand.
I know.
and I even did the no commercials because I hated seeing the
Oh
commercials.
yeah, the commercials are real bad. Yeah, now at the end of this month, I think CBS All Access is turning into Paramount Plus, because I guess there was a merger or something. And all the same content will still be there. So Star Trek will still be on there, as well as The Stand, and I think that's really it.
Yeah,
That's really all I watch on there. But they'll also have Paramount stuff on there, which is kind of cool too. So I guess that's cool. Hopefully they don't raise the price on me because I literally only have it for Star Trek and The Stand.
Yeah, no, mine is just The Stand,
Yeah, I
and
know.
eventually Star Trek before you guys hate.
Because you hate Star
I
Trek.
don't hate Star Trek.
All right. Well, we're going to take a quick break for a word from our sponsor. Then we'll be right back. And we're back. See, we put in ads and we just cut them in there. So we actually,
We never know what they are.
yeah, we never know what they are. I think last week and the week before it was the Ohio like tourist board. They're like,
Yeah.
hey, come visit Ohio. It's a cool place. There's a rising tech community. We're like, okay, cool.
Yeah, sure. Ohio.
Go Ohio.
Go O.
Go Ohio State. That's a big thing.
Yes.
The Buckeyes or something like that.
I don't know.
That's probably
You know I
right.
don't watch sports.
Yeah, I know. Well, Joe, every time we have you on, you have something cool that your company, Mythic Markets, is releasing. So I'm sure today is no different. What have you got released right now or lately?
Yeah, absolutely. So we just launched, and probably as the audience hears this, launched the first appearance of Wonder Woman, which is All Star Comics 8. We were hoping to release that in conjunction with the film. The
Yeah.
SEC kind of. Was a little bit of a stumbling block this time, but
Oh,
we
gotcha.
got it out, and it is available now. So
Well, it's
this is
probably good. It's probably good you separated yourself a little bit from that movie anyway. So
What do you mean, Cody? What do you mean by that?
just wasn't a fan. I think Wonder Woman on her own is great, but the 1984 movie, not so much.
Yeah, we talked about it a lot.
Yeah. But that's pretty cool. And so this is a true golden age comic too, right? What year did it come out? Do you remember?
This is 19. That's a great question. You know what? I really should know this. I can pull it up right now through the magic of the internet. 1942.
Woo! Man, Cap was still fighting Nazis. during
No,
that
we were
time.
finishing, right? If history, yeah.
It depends what month, I suppose.
I guess.
Yeah.
Well, actually, the cover date, I guess, is 1941. So, yeah, there you go.
There you go. Yep.
So tell us a little bit about Wonder Woman's role.
Yes. So I'm sure she came out kicking, right? Super powerful.
Right in front.
On the cover.
Yeah.
Actually, no, as it turns out. So she, was introduced in All Star 8 as the Justice Society of America's secretary.
Oh,
Really.
Yeah. 1941. That checks out.
That's on brand for that time.
Yeah.
As long as they were like
all
yelling
is
at her, give me some
forgiven.
coffee, and
Yeah.
then like sending
Martian
her out.
Manhunter's like sweeping the floors and stuff, just because he's foreign.
Yeah, so there is a story about that, like about how they didn't put people were sort of honorary members who didn't necessarily make cover as they were being introduced for their own sort of cover in their own series, and so there's like sort of an asterisk next to that one.
That's crazy. Yeah, because I remember Christian even like he did a quick Google in his car or something. He was like.
Very professional. Thanks, Cody.
Yeah, well, you didn't find the right answer, so it couldn't have been on a real computer. And he was like, "Yeah, I don't think that's Wonder Woman." I'm like, "No, I'm pretty sure it was Wonder Woman's first appearance." So yeah, it's kind of. I mean, we've always talked about we're big Marvel boys, which are primarily like in their Silver Age comics, so they're all during like the 60s and 70s, and so going back that far, like there couldn't have been that many of these comic books available, right? Because I know like Action Comics is notoriously hard to track down, and even Detective Comics. I think Detective Comics 10, right? Is that Batman?
Batman is I think 28.
28. Okay, one of them's 10. I know that, but anyway,
27.
27. So I know one of the first appearance of Batman comics just sold recently for like some astronomical price. So
Something like 2 million or something.
Yeah,
2.5 million
yeah.
bucks.
because now correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sure you've done some research on these comics, but a lot of the golden age comic books, especially during the World War II era, were basically turned into pulp and stuff to print out like GI bills and shit like that. Isn't that right?
You know what? I did not know that. I will check to see if that's true and let our content team know that needs to start, they need to put that into our marketing.
So I was, when I moved up to San Francisco for the first time, I went to City College for like a whole year because I fucked up my statistics class and had to like retake it. And so I took a bunch of other like classes just for filler. And one of them was Comics in Society, which was a really interesting class. Available at San Francisco City College if anyone's interested. It's probably not available anymore.
Who knows? Maybe that was our ad.
Yeah, maybe that's our ad. But I'm pretty sure that I remember them talking about like the reason why a lot of the 30s and 40s era comic books were so hard to find now is because during World War II, when resources were slim, the U.S. government actually encouraged citizens to turn in old like novels, newspapers, comic books, magazines, because they would pulp down the paper and use them to print out things like, brochures of like, of wartime information. And then it's not the GI Bill. That's the thing to give them jobs when they came.
I like to think it went to stuff like don't get the clap, stuff like
no. It was primarily war related, but things like their bills or something like that, where people could buy them and they would fund the army and
bonds.
Big bonds, war bonds,
GI war bonds, yeah. So they were pulped down to print war bonds on, which is why so many of these like coveted early comic books are just so hard to find. They just got scrapped basically. Think about all those like Action Comic #1s that are just like wasting away in someone's safe, waiting for them to mature.
If that's not true, that's a great story.
Yeah, it's pretty good for a made up one, right? Yeah. No, I'm pretty sure that's true. And also back then, comic books were not viewed solely as a children's hobby, as now they're obviously gaining in more popularity. Part of the reason we have this podcast is because it's cool to be a nerd now.
Remember that shit when it wasn't growing up?
Oh man, that was the worst.
It's like, I like this shit. I got no one to talk to about it. Might get my ass beat if I talk about it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I guess I'll just be at home plotting for the demise of my enemies. Yeah. But like growing up and stuff, it was always considered, that's kid stuff, or like, old neckbeard guys in the comic book stores. But back then when comics first came out, like, adults would read it and stuff too. It was almost as widely as acceptable as manga is in Japan.
I want to try to get into old school horror comics because there's some great ones like
old school horror comics, like R. Crumb or whatever.
Like what? Horror?
Yeah. Oh,
like Tales
horror.
from the Crypt.
Tales from the Crypt. Okay, I thought you meant like Ladies of the Night.
Oh, those too. I'm sure they were around.
Yeah, same books. Just give Vampirella or whatever.
Hey, just switch it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool though. So, what's the offering on? It was Action Comics 8, right? Is that
no All Star?
All Star. That's right. So, what was the offering? It was, I think, what'd you pay for it, and what's it? What are shares of it going for right now?
So the IPO price is $37,000,
okay.
And that's 1,000 shares at $37 a piece.
Nice.
We paid.
Well, you don't have to disclose that if you want.
Yeah.
I was just talking about like the what the value of the book is and how you're breaking it up. That's what I mean.
Yeah. So I mean, I think like I think on Go Collect or something like that is probably closer to like 44, 46, something like that.
Nice.
But
what was the rating on it?
Oh, this is a 4.
4 on the CGC.
Yeah, 4.0 CGC 4.
Nice. Yeah, it's great. Finding those older books and even in that good a condition is exceedingly rare. There can't be that many of them out there anymore.
Golden Age, that gets to sort of like, I think like pretty acceptable levels. Silver, you probably don't necessarily want to be down that range, but Golden Age it is exceedingly difficult to find. A 9, for instance.
Right. Yeah.
Well, in the first appearance, it's going to go up in value. It's never going to go down. I mean, unless they do something.
No matter what Patty Jenkins does to it.
You beat me to it. Like, I mean, even with that.
Yeah, but
I mean, the keys are always going to go up.
Right. And I think that, Wonder Woman is an excellent character, and she's definitely come a long way from being the Justice League secretary. Like she is a powerful character in her own right. And the first movie was excellent.
It was.
Yeah.
I think that was the real hard pill to swallow with the second one.
Yeah.
Was how good the first one was. Like, yo, what did you do? Like,
I agree. Yeah, you had the formula. What'd you do?
Yeah.
But this just means that the third one's going to be outstanding.
Yeah. And that's I think what we said on, or at least what I said on our Wonder Woman 84 episode, is that I'm willing to give Patty Jenkins the benefit of the doubt. Yes, she burned me on this one. Well played, Patty. You fucking got me.
We didn't exchange dollars for it. It was already a service we had. So
that's true. That made it a little easier, even though I watched it 1.5 times because I tried to watch it again for the show. But so and like she the first one was amazing. It was, man, the scene with her in No Man's Land where she's crossing the trenches, in World War I, one of the best comic book scenes out there, I think. And so I'm willing to give the other one another shot because hey, this one stumbled. I recently rewatched the Iron Man movies and 2 was okay, 3 was meh. It's like we forget.
I actually like 2. I know everyone hates on. I like 2.
It was okay.
3 was bad.
3 was pretty
3
bad.
was pretty bad.
You know what's funny though?
People rate 3 higher than 2 though.
I know a lot of people do.
Rate 3 higher than 2?
A lot of people do.
Ooh, I want to talk to
I
these
don't know.
people.
The
IMDb.
and the Rotten Tomatoes folks. One thing too, when I was rewatching 2, when he's at the Grand Prix there in Monaco, Elon Musk is there.
Oh, was he?
I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
A little cameo. He's like, "Oh, Elon." He's like, "Oh, I don't have time for you." But
Wait, who said I don't have time for you?
Tony Stark.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, it shows that he's like part of like the super billionaire genius crew. Yeah, that was fun.
I think it was he had an idea for like an electric helicopter or something.
Yeah, something not as cool as Iron Man for sure. Yeah, it's
That's
like,
awesome. Like,
oh yeah, electric car. He's like, whatever. I have a robot suit. Get out of my way.
He's like, I don't talk to broke people on my off days. Get out of here.
Yeah, that's pretty good. So we figured because you're releasing this, or you have released at this point, this comic book starring Wonder Woman, and we famously we're not super fans of the new movie. We wanted to talk to you a little bit about, what do you think the DC cinematic universe or extended universe, whatever they're calling it, what do you think that they can do to kind of like rebound and kind of, because every once in a while they'll make something good. The Joker was good. Wonder Woman 1 was good. Aquaman was fine, right? It was fine. Aquaman.
The soundtrack was terrible for it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Like, what were you doing with it?
Yeah, but I think overall it was a fun movie. The story wasn't that crazy, and there was some good stuff.
I will say this: they made his weakest power seem kind of cool, talking to fish.
Yeah,
and that I was like, okay, that was good. Like,
Yeah.
if you had done what you did there, the entire movie, you would have had something.
you didn't like when he said like "my man" or "Yahoo."
I was fine with that. I mean, it
Yeah.
didn't bother me.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway, so what do you think what are some of the biggest pitfalls of the DC movies? Or let's start even further back. Are you a fan of like Man of Steel, Batman, Superman, Justice League?
You know what? I haven't seen any of them.
Oh my gosh.
So that might, but I've seen everything that in the MCU.
Okay.
The truth is that like I've always been more sort of Marvel than DC.
Yep.
But in terms of the cinematic universes, I think a lot of it has to do with a cohesive vision for it.
Yeah.
I think like Kevin, there was a bunch of Marvel films, MCU films, or sorry, not MCU, but like Marvel films, even X-Men and all this other stuff that were kind of released as one-offs and let's see how it does and whatever. I think Feige, came in and said, here's the vision for this. And we're going to chunk it out, not as individual like franchises and individual movies, but here's the vision and here's how it's all going to, work up to this giant universe.
Right.
And so I think that's part of it. I think casting is another part of it.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're obviously like writing,
big part of it for sure.
a huge part of it. And yeah, I mean, I think just but probably the most important component out of all this is having that cohesive vision. Because I mean, I think they're okay releasing like so sort of filler episodes, if you will.
Sure.
Because they have to build the world and introduce in this case the Infinity Stones in sort of each one, and they had to build up the characters. If they had started off with Avengers, for instance, I don't think it would have been half as good. They had to build each one of these people's stories up.
100%. Yeah. I think you hit the nail on the head where, with Marvel, we had the Incredible Hulk and Iron Man, which I think came out one after another, which were solid movies on their own. They introduced the character that even though we kind of already knew him, but it gave us the film version of him. And then after that, we had little, like each movie that happened after that with Captain America, the First Avenger, Thor 1, Iron Man 2, we got little bits more of all these characters. And then that by the time we got the Avengers movie, yes, we had some cool scenes of them all meeting each other for the first time, but we had already known them for 5 years or something like that.
Yeah.
At that point, 6 years. So and where I think DC has really gone astray.
They just try to catch up. They didn't build that. They
Right.
were just like, oh shit, the Avengers worked. Let's do the Justice League. And
Right.
it's like they didn't earn like that trust with the audience or that love with the characters. They just rushed into it.
Yeah, so they had Man of Steel, right, which kicked off the whole thing, right? And then they had immediately had Batman versus Superman, Dawn of Justice.
Yes.
Which introduced a new Batman, which we had just come off of the strongest Batman that we had ever seen on film, and Batman arc, I should say, because Dark Knight was better than Batman.
I will
Rises.
defend Ben Affleck as Batman.
Yeah.
I liked him.
Batfleck is great, but this is our first time seeing him. Was like, oh, he's getting ready to fight Superman already. We didn't know how. Each Batman we've seen, whether it be the Adam West Batman, the Christian Bale, or the Michael Keaton Batman, each one, every time you adapt a character to a movie, we get a slightly different version. And we had never gotten to see.
How dare you not mention George Clooney?
Oh, George Clooney and Val Kilmer.
How dare you?
Yeah, sorry. Whew. Yeah, I blacked out there for a minute. Those are just a hole in my brain. So even those guys, and that could be part of the reason why each of those other two failed. We get a Val Kilmer Batman, which it's like a unofficial sequel to the Tim Burton's Batman, and then he's gone, and then we have George Clooney, and then it's just a rave, rave to sell toys. And so we didn't get to know this Batman. So there's no buy-in from the audience. And so in Dawn of Justice, we have Superman, who we've already known. Then we have a new Batman and Wonder Woman, who we've never met before in the movies, and Lex Luthor, and the whole Batman universe.
Well, outside, you don't know where DC is going, because now we got Twilight Batman, we got Ben Affleck Batman, and now they're bringing Michael Keaton back as Batman. So it's like, what are you doing? You guys Marvel went to multiverse. Let's hurry up and do multiverse.
Let's
Batman.
beat them to it. Yeah.
It's like, what are you doing?
It's very interesting because the whole Michael Keaton thing so far and Ben Affleck coming back is very up in the air, and we haven't heard anything concrete. We've heard different rumors and things like that. But it sounds like they're doing like a multiverse Flashpoint thing through the Flash movie. So maybe that's how they're going to try to tie everything together. But the problem is the first time we've seen the Flash and the last time we've seen the Flash has been in the Justice League movie, where he was super briefly introduced, and all he did was crack jokes and fall down when he was running really fast, So I think that's where they struggle the most. They need to take some time to develop him.
I think they should just focus on the shows. Their DC shows are great. Just focus on that. Just keep doing that.
Yeah, I mean,
do you think part of it is also, because I get the sense watching some of these, is that like the when I'm comparing DC to Marvel, that the people who make the MCU, number one, they really care about their characters, and their characters have a ton of chemistry. Versus in the DCEU, I don't get that same sense. I don't get the sense that the people producing it and the writers and stuff really care about these characters, and the characters themselves don't have sort of a natural chemistry.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I think a part of that is because Marvel had their own studio before everything got bought out by Disney. They had a studio that Marvel Comics, it was a subdivision of, where DC has always gone through Warner Brothers, right? Warner Brothers?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
They've all Warner Brothers has owned the rights for a long, long time, and I think because of that, the people, the head editors and chiefs and stuff at DC didn't have very much say in the beginnings, and when they do have say, Warner Brothers can ultimately veto them. They can say, hey, we know movies, we know blockbusters, I know that Superman doesn't kill people, but we think it would be really cool if he just snapped Zod's neck.
Do you think that was a studio, or do you think that was a Snyder?
I don't know.
Because there's clips of Snyder like fucking doing the gesture like.
To me, honestly, it could have been Zack Snyder. And honestly, I bring that up because I know it's a big pain point for a lot of DC fans. But I actually didn't have a problem with that. We have to know why Superman doesn't kill people, right? He's obviously one of the strongest beings in that universe. Even by accident, he had to have done it once or twice, right? So, showing that, this was so traumatic for him doing that, it's character growth. And I was okay with that, but a lot of people shit on it. But I actually like Man of Steel. I'm a Man of Steel apologist.
How do you guys feel about the Snyder Cut that's going to be released?
Well, I mean, Joe has an excellent, opportunity here. He can watch the Justice League the way it was first intended and doesn't have to watch the other one at all.
Yeah, it's true.
So that's pretty cool.
So the Snyder Cut is like the director's cut that they, is a little longer, but includes the things that like key scenes that, fill in plot holes or something.
So they had, and I'm blanking, Whedon, yes?
Joss Whedon. Yeah,
Yeah.
So Zack Snyder, while he was filming the Justice League, his daughter,
I don't know.
son, daughter?
I
I think it was
forgot.
his daughter killed herself.
Sorry for not knowing.
Oh my God.
Sorry, Zack Snyder. We're sorry for your loss. It was very bad. And justifiably so. Him and his wife, who's a producer on all of his movies, dropped out of the film to kind of help out with their family. And so when that happened, Joss Whedon was hired on to finish the Justice League. And at first it was like, he's just gonna do the last couple CGI shots that they never did, and tie it all together, edit it all together. But he went back and did massive reshoots, changed the script around a lot, and by the time it had come out and it was kind of panned by audiences and critics alike, Zack Snyder had tweeted something like, dude, this is not the movie that I set out to make. And so for years, the release the Snyder Cut hashtag was like,
I was surprised when they did it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
the
it's very-
power of Twitter.
yeah.
To
Well,
show you.
at Comic-Con, someone hired a plane with one of those, I don't know, the signs trailing behind it that said release the Snyder Cut. I've seen that, at Comic-Con, and it grew big enough and had enough support where Warner Brothers was like, fine, do it. So they're releasing, it's 4 hours long on HBO Max. And apparently it's going to have Darkseid in it. There's a redesign of Steppenwolf. There's a lot of extra stuff and storylines that are supposed to be tied up the way he wanted. So now, if it's also shitty, then
That's actually maybe it's not so great to say. I'm actually more excited about it being worse.
Yeah.
Because I kind of just want to turn to everyone who said release the Snyder Cut and just be like,
yeah,
so what'd you think?
yeah,
What did you think? Was it worth it?
yeah. I'm interested to see it. I think Zack Snyder overall has a very good cinematic vision. Everyone forgets that 300 was a revolutionary movie.
That
came out.
movie was a blessing and a curse for him. I
Yeah.
feel like he can't get out of that color scheme.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I mean, dude, I loved his zombie movie.
Dawn of the Dead.
Dawn of the Dead was great.
It was great.
an amazing remake.
Yeah.
Try that again. I know you got it in you. You can do other things.
Yeah, there was also the Guardians of Ga'Hoole, the owls.
I didn't watch
That
that.
was, I don't know. That was a kids movie he did with CGI owls.
Was it all sepia over and stuff?
I don't know. I never watched it. I think I'm interested to see what it does, and I think that it can give us a better version of the movie we saw. But I think the wounds in the DCEU are too deep for that alternate cut to really fix them. I think what it's really going to hinge upon is how good the Flash movie is, because of the DC characters, people already weren't happy with Ben Affleck as Batman, even though I thought he was great.
He was amazing.
And people were not happy with Superman. And Wonder Woman people are super happy with. But if they also fuck up the Flash, it's like, man, how many people do they have left to try, do a Martian Manhunter movie or Cyborg
I love
movie?
him. That's actually one of my favorite DC cases. That would be awesome to have him.
But he's already in the DCEU. Did you know that?
No.
He's the general guy, the guy from the Matrix, the black colonel guy.
Yes.
That's Martian Manhunter.
Is that for sure?
There's a deleted scene where he looks at the camera and his eyes turn red or something like that.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, he's been in hiding the whole time. But
That's why he's never near fire.
yeah,
That's why.
exactly. Yes. But yeah, I think the Flash movie, which when's that coming out? 22,
I don't know.
something like that.
Who knows now? With COVID, it's just so hard to
Yeah,
tell.
everything's been pushed back. But I think that is going to be, and how they handle the Michael Keaton Batman and the Batman movie. I think is gonna.
I know you're super excited about it. I'm still like, I don't know, man.
I don't know. Looks pretty cool. Have you seen the trailer for that one yet, Joe?
I haven't, but I'm gonna punch it up right after this.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I don't know. I'm excited because I do like Batman. I'd say he's probably my favorite of the DC.
It's
universe.
hard for me to see the Twilight guy as Batman, but I've seen The Lighthouse, and I'm like, okay, the dude can act.
He was really good in Tenet too.
Oh, I haven't seen Tenet, but I was like, Lighthouse, like, okay, I didn't think that was the Twilight guy. Like, the dude can act, so let's.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll see.
Yeah, I think it'll be good as a young, Bruce Wayne kind of, because it's supposed to be like Batman Year One, where he's like becoming the Batman.
Honestly, like what kind of was making me worried about it is like when COVID happened, he decided not to work out to keep the muscle. It's like, dude, what are you doing? You have a contract.
Yeah.
You gotta have a certain look. You know,
yeah,
like,
you should be fucking flipping tires over like Ben Affleck.
yeah, hitting fucking sledgehammer with that shit.
Yeah,
like,
whatever that does. The axe chopping muscles.
yeah, he was gonna hit Superman with it. Let's see.
Yeah, well, yeah, I hope it turns out well for DC. I think that, the characters are there. The content is there. There's been years and years and years of great writing, and they need to do something good with it. And I think really what it comes down to is having a Kevin Feige like they have in Marvel, where there's someone who has the vision of it, who unfortunately is not Patty Jenkins or Zack Snyder. Like, get someone from DC Comics and have them,
Or I'm telling you,
that.
take people from the show like Doom Patrol. Like,
Yeah.
Doom Patrol was really good.
Doom
I
Patrol was
actually
great.
went and read about those characters, and I'm like, oh, had I like picked up a graphic novel about this, I wouldn't have cared at all. But
Yeah.
that show made me care about these characters. Like, they
much
did a great
like
job.
Guardians of the Galaxy. I think that movie, or those two movies, I should say, kind of proved that when you have someone who loves the characters and loves the content, and then you have that overarching vision of the universe, you can make something out of seemingly nothing.
Yeah.
And then hopefully we're gonna get now Black Widow is the next one.
Who the fuck knows,
Yeah.
man, when that's gonna
Why
happen?
do we even worry about what's next movie?
I honestly didn't think we were gonna get WandaVision before Black Widow.
Yeah.
Like, that's insane.
Yeah, it's crazy. Because we were supposed to get Civil War. I mean, Falcon Winter Soldier, right? Wasn't that supposed to come out first?
Probably. I mean,
Yeah.
I haven't been kind of tracking that.
Yeah, I think it was, and I think it got some of the shooting got shut down because of COVID. But WandaVision, because it takes place primarily in this like old school TV house. Like,
Oh, he hasn't seen it, man. Can't give it away.
well,
No. I'm not caught up, but
right,
I'm,
we haven't watched the one that
watched the
comes
first
out
few
tomorrow.
episodes.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what the Snyder Cut is and where the DC Cinematic Universe goes. I'm gonna see every movie regardless. That's
That's because we haven't been to movie theaters in a fucking year.
That's also true. But I hope that they take these characters and do something great with them. And I think, the Joker movie on its own was like, oh, that's a cool, interesting take on something. And hopefully they do more of those. And then if they create a cinematic universe, fine. But if not, like, just make good movies. I think that's what it really comes down
Well,
to.
you can't tie in that Joker, Joaquin Phoenix's Joker, to their DC universe.
Well,
So
that's what I'm
gonna-
saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can. As long that movie was a good movie, like it was an interesting take on a character that we all know, and it didn't tie into anything, but it was a good movie. Like
Yes.
it was entertaining to watch. So, like that's fine. Just make good movies. You don't have to make a cinematic universe. I mean, sure, it's cool, but you don't have to.
You can't be Marvel. Not
Yeah.
everyone can be
Not
Marvel.
everyone can be Marvel. Look, Star Wars can't even be Marvel.
Well, The Mandalorian is picking back up.
Oh
so.
man, The Mandalorian is so good. What did
That's
you think of The Mandalorian?
Oh, phenomenal! And I think like having, John Favreau. First of all, John Favreau makes really good movies. I
Yep.
mean, he's amazing. But having somebody who has, the vision to take it beyond, what George Lucas sort of started,
Hmm.
because like George Lucas's sort of vision is, I think, uh, I don't know, dated, limited. There's people who care about these characters
Right.
and are expanding upon that universe now, kind
Hmm.
of like, Gene Roddenberry in
Yep.
in Star Trek. He had a certain vision. Had he continued to make, Star Trek, it wouldn't be what it is today.
Yep.
um
100%.
People made it better. I mean, that doesn't always happen, but
Sure.
guys like Jon Favreau make the Star Wars universe better.
Yeah, I think you bring up a good point, because sometimes the people who are like directly responsible for something, they have a limited view of what it could be. And with something like Star Wars, people like Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, um, you know, those guys, they love Star Wars and they can see alternate ways of it going. Like, I don't think George Lucas ever would have done anything with the Mandalorians like they did between the Clone Wars and the Mandalorian show. But the fact that they saw the potential and created this thing that is, you know, definitely higher rated than any of the 3 sequel movies.
Well, even look
you
at the
know?
character Anakin. Like,
Mhm.
I did not like prequel Anakin.
Sure.
I loved Clone Wars,
Mhm.
Dave Filoni Anakin. Like, dude, that was a great character.
Right.
Like, that was I loved what he did with
Right.
it.
And I think, and that happens with a lot of those things where, sometimes it takes an outsider to really create something awesome. Star Trek is a good example. Though, if you watch, we made a short little video about Discovery season 3, which overall was good, but I've have some major problems with Discovery now, and I hope they get solved. But I think that overall, Star Trek is in a very good place. Star Wars is getting there now with the Mandalorian, and hopefully these other 2 tie-in shows that are coming out. So sometimes it does take, I think, an outsider to really.
I'll be honest. I'm a little bit concerned of Book of Boba, but we'll see.
I don't know. I think it could be cool. I like what they did with the Boba Fett's character, and I think if it's handled correctly, I think it could be really interesting.
I'm a little scared that how well the Mandalorian did. They rushed to try to do new Star Wars stuff that maybe might not be as good as the Mandalorian because they're trying to just like cash in on it. But I hope I'm wrong. I hope.
Yeah. Well, I think it has to come. I think that's where someone like Warner Brothers and Kathleen Kennedy can be more harm than good. They see like, oh shit, people love this thing. Let's make our own version of this thing, and then they rush it. They don't put as much care and thought into it, and then it kind of disintegrates around them, kind of thing. So, hopefully, it sounds like Dave Filoni, Jon Favreau have a good hold on that Mandalorian
Yeah, like if their
sub-universe.
fingers are in those pies, then I
Yeah.
think it'll be fine. But like if it starts going outside, it's like, might be a little bit weird.
Yep. I agree. Joe, did you watch Discovery season 3?
You know what? I couldn't get past like episode 3 of Discovery season 1.
Oh, okay.
I think I should probably give it more time.
I don't know.
But I couldn't get into it.
Yeah, it's
Wait, there's a Star Trek that you guys don't like?
well. I mean, the main problem. I won't rehash it too much because we did a mini episode on this, but my main problem with it is that there's a main character, and I think that Star Trek is not supposed to have a main character. It's it's about the crew of the ship. It doesn't matter if it's the Enterprise, Voyager, Deep Space Nine, Space Station. It has to be. It's the crew's story, and the world around them. But this one is the fucking Michael Burnham show. And, she's the one who gets him out of trouble, also gets him into trouble, and she can do no wrong and faces no repercussions. And I'm just like, man, it's so frustrating.
Picard was the heavy in his show, and
Yeah.
that worked because he's Picard,
Right.
But even in all the other series, like they have like one heavy, and then you
Yeah.
got like the supporting cast, but everybody is developed.
Right.
but
There were
I don't
episodes without Picard, though. You know what I mean? There are ones that focus on Geordi and Data or Worf and Riker.
Exactly.
You know, so I think that's where this one fails. Is that even though yes, Picard is like, let's be honest, he's the guy we all want to see. You know what I mean? Like, yes, we got to see Worf get taken out by one guy to know how strong the bad guy is. And, Riker's got to flirt with the ladies. But at the end of the day, it's like, oh, man, what's Picard going to do next? But I still wouldn't think of him as the main character. He's not integral to every part of that story, though a lot of them. But with Discovery, man, it is 100% all about Michael Burnham. She's like the chosen one. She has the power to do what no one else can.
What's that power, Cody?
It's, I don't know. Just
I was just curious.
Plot device. It basically everything revolves around her. Oh, she's the only one who can wear this suit that travels them into the future. She's the only one who knows that this guy's really an imposter. She's the only one who can pilot the Enterprise. It's just like, dude, like relax.
I've
There's
two lead females today that you didn't like.
Yeah,
there's a trend.
There are really good other characters in Discovery.
Were they men?
No. First of all, some of them were aliens. But no, there are other good, really good female characters in it and male characters who don't get enough of their time to shine, kind of thing. And that was always what I liked about Star Trek was, like, oh, Geordi's in the engineering and he's got a cool solution to get them out of this jam. Or, honestly, this mission needs Riker because he's brash and he's aggressive and he's going to go in there and get things done. Or this one requires, Deanna Troi to feel out people's feelings. I mean,
they dropped the ball on some of those, but yeah.
But yeah, that was my opinion on Star Trek Discovery. I think if you're, though I know you're a fan of Star Trek, I think you should definitely watch The Lower Decks if you haven't watched that one yet.
I haven't had a chance to. I would like to.
You'll enjoy
it. Lower Decks, the episode on TNG is one of the best ever.
Oh my god, it's so great. It's like Family Guy set in Star Trek, and some of the jokes in there, I know you'll get and understand, even though they go over some other people's heads. Because, man, it's some funny stuff. I really enjoy it.
Once I eventually one day catch up,
then
I'll watch it.
Yeah, you have to do it. All right. Well, I think that just about does. Joe, tell us one more time. How can people invest in? I'm going to get it wrong. All-Star Comics 8.
All-Star Comics 8 is available now on Mythic Markets, $37 a share. It is the first appearance of Wonder Woman, and this particular drop makes up the second of our trilogy of Wonder Women in pop culture and in fandom series. So the first being Benelish Hero, which is the Magic the Gathering Alpha art that's available as well. Mm-hmm. All-Star 8, which is the Wonder Woman. And coming soon, right after All-Star 8, is the original NES Metroid.
Ooh,
with Samus Aran.
Samus Aran. That's pretty cool. It is the original Metroid worth a lot of money?
Yeah, it is.
But it has to be
around
like
about 50,000.
What?
Wait, we're talking about the cartridge?
Yes.
Unopened.
It has to be unopened,
yes.
though, right? Yeah, I'm sure. I was like,
wow.
God damn, because I think I have that thing in a bag up in my cabin.
What is that one worth?
Yeah, like $20. Probably.
Yeah, no, I mean, original video games are super valuable now.
That's crazy.
What about the Super Mario? What is that one worth?
Like in a high grade, definitely over 100, 150.
Whoa, I had no idea.
Yeah, but I opened them and played them.
Yeah.
I didn't have enough foresight to think.
I'm gonna start doing some research.
Oh my god, I should just go through my life now, just buying stuff and never opening anything.
Just wait till you retire.
I'll just live in the house wrapped in plastic, and then some of them will hit, some of them won't hit.
Yeah, probably a lot won't.
Yeah, and then
I that was a good movie, the 40-year-old virgin.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thanks so much, man, for joining us. We always love having you on. It's always a cool experience. I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys come out with next. And seeing what things I've sold that could be now worth hundreds of thousands of dollars if I had thought to maintain them. So thanks, man, for coming on. We really appreciate you coming on.
Thank you so much for having me, guys.
No problem. And Christian, I'm going to go home and look through all my NES games now and just cry.
I know, right?
Yeah. But thank you for joining me as well. As always, be my trusty sidekick.
Yes, fun as always.
And to all the nerds out there, make sure you like and subscribe. Check us out, nerdswithfriendspodcast.com. And remember, you're not alone. You're with friends. This is Nerds with Friends. Thank you and good night.